Justin, President Trump moments ago responded to Jimmy Kimmel's return to ABC, saying in part that the White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled, and adding, "I think we're going to have to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. Okay, so much for private action, Brett.
Well, I think Jimmy Kimmel should come out tonight and declare this war over and decide that he'd like to make his show a little bit more balanced. I think that might be better for all of us. The president's not going to get $16 million out of Jimmy Kimmel for a bad joke, even as tasteless as it was. And in the end, the public interest obligation is on the local station. It's not on the producers of the Jimmy Kimmel show. They only have maybe a moral obligation to be balanced. So I would not see that this lawsuit's going to go anywhere.
Trump doesn't seem to think he doesn't have a role here, Hogan.
Well, again, it wasn't because of a bad joke. It was because Jimmy Kimmel lied about something that was egregious and provably false. We knew the shooter at that point wasn't a MAGA advocate, but he said so anyway. That's part of it. He tells bad jokes every night. That's nothing new. This was a lie, a flat-out lie, and it was egregious and grotesque. The Hollywood Reporter, which of course is a liberal outlet, also pointed to the fact that in this whole saga, it was the parent company that was quite concerned about the money they were losing on Jimmy Kimmel and how the affiliates said they didn't want him on air anymore. What Donald Trump just truth posted, of course, that will most assuredly be litigated in court. What I'm most interested in tonight is how the public litigates the return of Jimmy Kimmel and how he decides to basically address what kicked him off the air for the last several days.
But I think that I don't think Jimmy Kimmel's going to back down in any way. He has Republicans speaking out against what has happened to him, like Joe Rogan and Ted Cruz. He has had Democrats, and ultimately he now has Disney having his back. Disney put him back on the air. And so I don't think that Jimmy Kimmel here, he could have sued. He could have not come back. Instead, he is coming back today, and I think he has a reputation to uphold, and I think he probably is going to stand his ground. On the Donald Trump Truth Social, I would say if I were his lawyers, I would take away his Truth Social. He has done so many things over the last week that have hurt either investigations or now if he files a lawsuit, that I'm not sure if that lawsuit will go anywhere after that truth. And so I don't think he does himself any favors. But I think Jimmy Kimmel is going to stick to his ground tonight.
He clearly feels empowered, Congressman. I mean, he is holding up this $16 million settlement as proof that he can get any amount of money out of anyone that he wants. And then even the part where he says the White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled, I'm not sure that's true, but it seems to suggest that he thinks that they have to clear with him what they put on TV.
Well, that's exactly what it suggests. I mean, he's more than suggestions. That's what he's saying. He's made that very clear. And he's been filing lawsuits against everybody all over the place. And there's no surprise that he's doing this. And he thinks that the courts are going to eventually rule his way. And he's getting about 85% of what he's predicted to get.
He is, but on this issue, I think the court has already been pretty clear about whether the government can weigh in on or to influence private companies through threats. And Donald Trump writing this is as clear-cut. I mean, I don't think there's any example in history that is more clear-cut than this in terms of his attempt to intimidate these private corporations.
Except for the Biden administration that actually did it.
No, actually,
No,
they did not.
They actually worked with those companies to suppress and silence.
Yeah, but they
hold on.
Conservative voices.
They communicated with the companies, but there's no evidence that there were threats involved. Everyone, we got to go.
There weren't threats.
Thank you very much. We're hearing now from audience members about what Jimmy Kimmel said inside the studio in his monologue tonight. We'll tell you about it next.